पाकिस्तान की इकोनॉमी बचाने के लिए चीफ ऑफ आर्मी स्टाफ को भी आगे लगाकर दुनिया में जाकर हर एक के दरवाजे पर भीख मांग रहे हो। कुरान को दाएं हाथ में उठाओ और एटम बम वाले बक्से को बाएं हाथ में उठाओ।
Namaste, mera dosto. Hope all is well. Today we are going to talk about and watch some clips on the economic crisis and Islamic jihad going on in Pakistan right now. We have all seen in the past few days that all of the world has been talking about this. We cannot consider this like such a crisis as what we have seen in Sri Lanka. There is actually a really big difference between both crises. Pakistan is a pure Islamic nation with nuclear weapons. So what we can see in the foreseeable future is that Islamic terrorists will threaten the world with these nuclear weapons, all while begging for more money. There are two solutions to this problem. America should take control of the nuclear weapons systems of Pakistan. And another alternative, which is not a very good one, is that the Pakistani government should receive more funding. Hillary Clinton said that you cannot keep snakes in your backyard and only expect them to bite your neighbors. Recently, what happened in Pakistan was we saw that Muslims bombed Muslims at a mosque. So they are attacking their own holy places. So we can just imagine what they could do outside of their community. For this reason, we can only expect them to continue to attack literally anyone. I think Pakistan will collapse, which will result in the splitting of 4 separate countries: Balochistan, Sindhudesh, POK, Pakistani occupied Kashmir, and last but not least, Punjab. The 4th is obviously Punjab because if we look at the history of Pakistan, Punjabi dominates by power since almost all of the prime ministers come from Punjab, including a past army chief. So let's take a look on some clips that will put some light on this situation.
These low-income workers in Islamabad scramble to buy a bag of government-subsidised flour. Inflation disproportionately affects the poorest in society. Across Pakistan, many are struggling with the rising cost of living.
It's been hugely difficult to live on our earnings. I'm a daily labourer. I have to queue up for up to 3 hours to purchase subsidised flour. The regular prices are unaffordable.
Soaring inflation is just one challenge. Pakistan is also facing a foreign exchange crisis. These importers are protesting outside a bank about a shortage of dollars. They can't get credit to pay for the goods they're importing. It means thousands of containers packed with essential food items, raw materials and medical equipment are stuck at the port in Karachi.
We demand the government immediately provide dollars so that we can get our consignment released from the port and prevent huge losses in shipping fees.
Importers who've been in the business for 35 years say they've never seen it this bad.
We have barely 25 days of stock left. If the dollars are not released immediately, there'll be an immense shortage of grain during Ramadan, meaning further hardship.
Pakistan is still recovering from last year's historic flooding. At its peak, more than 1/3 of the country was underwater. At least 1,700 people died, and damages are estimated at nearly $40 billion. Last week, the United Arab Emirates agreed to defer the repayment of a $2 billion loan and provide an extra $1 billion. But with the national debt running at nearly 90% of GDP, Pakistan is appealing for more help from the global community. Victoria Gatenby, Al Jazeera.
As they say, the truth is hard to swallow. Pakistan is a blot in the world order. We always knew this. We're clear at Republic. Pakistan has admitted it now. The Prime Minister of the terrorist state has admitted how it is, in his words, quote, embarrassing for him. He says, I'm embarrassed. I go around the whole world asking for loans. He says almost that he's fed up being the Prime Minister. He handles a food crisis, a Gilgit-Baltistan crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, when a Prime Minister says he's almost embarrassed about the situation of his country, what needs to be said? What remains to be said? Let's debate.
Let's just give Pakistan back to India.
From protests in Gilgit-Baltistan to riots over wheat flour. Pakistan is going around the globe with a begging bowl.
We would be able to generate close to about $8 billion domestically, but we're looking forward to an amount of equal share of $8 billion internationally.
Like such a dangerous situation.
But now the
that they're
protests have expanded to regions in
in.
Waziristan.
Dangerous.
Power outages are the new norm. Terrorism is the only sector where the Pakistanis are global leaders.
Before you said you're a diplomat, but several weeks ago you called Pakistan, your neighbor, the epicenter of terrorism.
Well, I did it again today without using the word Pakistan.
Yes, and this doesn't sound very diplomatic, does it?
No, because you are a diplomat doesn't mean you're untruthful.
That's right.
I could use much harsher words than epicenter. So believe me, considering what has been happening to us, I think epicenter is a very diplomatic word.
Now, even the Prime Minister of the terror state has
Media is
thrown
always
his
gonna be on
hands
the other
up.
side.
Pakistan is a self-admitted disaster. Let's debate.
Gaurav Gaurav.
Hi.
I think we need to have a hot debate because Faisal's feeling very cold. And I think there may be no heating in Islamabad. Maybe electricity is cut off. Situation so bad there. Can you see how he's there, you know? Delhi is equally cold, but look at you. You look so chilled out. You know, Sushant, Delhi में भी सर्दी है मगर heating चल रही है, सब कुछ ठीक है. Now the question is, Gaurav, ki, what advice do you have?
No, I've just returned from outside, and of course outside in Islamabad it's really cold.
I know. Now the thing is that your Prime Minister has said that it is becoming very embarrassing for him. मतलब कि जो हिंदी में अगर उसका मैं ट्रांसलेट करूँ तो वो कहते हैं हमें शर्म आती है अभी कि मैं हर जगह जाके मैं बहुत शर्म की बात है कि हमें हर जगह जाके भीख मांगनी पड़ती है पैसों के लिए, लोन के लिए. This is a very major statement coming in from Shehbaz Sharif. And I agree with him. It is a matter of shame. है ना, Gaurav? It is a matter of shame, but it is also headline grabbing material because खुद प्रधानमंत्री जाके कह रहे हैं कि शर्मनाक स्थिति आ गई हमारी, है ना? Well, how do you view this? I mean, it's just going from bad to worse. I try to ignore Pakistan. It's impossible to do. What do you think, Gaurav? What should they do, Gaurav? And how significant is this statement?
No, Arnab, this statement has been true 5 years back, 10 years back. So, you see, today Imran Khan is pointing fingers. It is during Imran Khan's 3.5-year rule that he took the maximum number of loans and asked for maximum number of aid. So, this is nothing new. Imran Khan has said that if I go to IMF, I'll commit suicide. When he was in the opposition before 2018, this is what Imran Khan said. He said, I'll commit suicide. I'll end my own life before I take money from others.
Yeah.
And Imran Khan took more money than anybody else. And so, Arnab, this is just more of the same. And he's saying that
this, on the economic situation, but on the economic situation, Sushant, elementary facts out here, Sushant, and you know, their current percentage of debt in GDP is about 80%. 80%. Sometime back it was 60%. That was bad enough. Now it's 80%, Sushant. It's a very critical situation.
Amid the economic crisis in Pakistan, the country has reportedly sought the support of the United States in reviving the International Monetary Fund program. The IMF loan is expected to facilitate a soft landing for Pakistan's economy, which is marred by external challenges like floods and adverse global economic conditions. According to reports, Pakistan's Finance Minister Ishaq Dhar met a US delegation in Islamabad and asked for the help of the US to convince the Washington-based multilateral lender to be lenient towards the country in restoring the program.
Oh my goodness.
The U.S. delegation was led by Robert Caproth, who is a Deputy Assistant Secretary of the U.S. Department of Treasury. Reports said that Dhar told the U.S. delegation that Pakistan would honor all its international commitments and was in fact in the process of taking very tough decisions, which include increasing the prices of natural gas and electricity to put the country on a path to stability through reform. The finance minister informed the delegation that Pakistan would require some breathing space as the country is still reeling under the after effects of devastating floods last year. As the economic crisis worsens, Islamabad has been making hectic efforts to convince the IMF to complete the review. It is pending since September last year and will be followed by the release of funds.
Crazy.
Earlier, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif indicated that the government was finally ready to accept the IMF's stringent conditions to revive the loan program.
They would be laughing at us.
According to reports, the IMF wants Pakistan to accept 7 demands before it resumes economic assistance to the country. The demands include withdrawing electric subsidies, linking gas prices to the international market, free-floating dollars and not blocking letters of credit. But reports said the government fears that implementing some of these demands will hike the price of essentials. And that is why the Shehbaz Sharif-led government has been reluctant to withdraw the subsidies that can make it unpopular within the people while the elections are due in October.
Imran Khan, the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, has warned the country could face an economic collapse if there isn't a general election early this year. Mr. Khan was ousted in a vote of no confidence last April. He's tried to push the government to bring the elections forward. His critics say his efforts are adding to the country's economic issues. He's been speaking to the BBC's Caroline Davis.
The only way Pakistan could get economic stability is through free and fair elections. Free and fair elections where a government backed by a popular mandate, that's the beginning of getting economic stability.
But those elections are due to happen this year. What you are calling for is to have them earlier. What's the difference? It's just a few months, but the fact that you're doing this could cause further economic damage. Will you acknowledge that?
Actually, the damage has been done. It's only going to get worse. The longer this government stays, the worry in Pakistan is we could have a Sri Lanka type situation.
Would you bring people out to protest if you don't get the agenda that you want to happen?
We will do public rallies. Of course, we're already in an election year, so we will do our public rallies, which are, which is what political parties do.
There is still a threat hanging over you that you could be disqualified. What will you do if you are disqualified? There is
absolutely no case that can disqualify me.
You don't think it'll happen?
Well, they're trying their best because, I have so many court cases. They come up with every other day there's a new case against me, and I keep appearances in courts.
What would you do? Who would run the party? How would this operate if you were disqualified?
Well, we'll cross the bridge when we come to it.
There will be an election this year at some point.
That bridge is already broken.
How safe do you currently feel?
Well, I don't feel safe. The answer is no, I don't feel safe. Thing is, yes, I'll be a little bit more careful. I will have a bulletproof screen now giving, rallies, but I will have to, there's no question of me sitting inside. I will go out campaigning.
What a jihadi scum. So I know what some of you are maybe thinking. Why suddenly Pakistan is having such a crisis? This story actually started when the United States left Afghanistan and Imran Khan supported the Taliban openly, giving anti-American statements to the public. That was the final nail on the coffin. The United States was needing Pakistan to actually give aid to Afghanistan when they had control of this area, but since America has left Afghanistan, there is no longer any funding going to Pakistan, and there is no reason to continue to give this funding to Pakistan. So that is why Pakistanis and Afghanistanis are just left to kill each other, which is what they're doing now. Well, I really hope you all understand where I'm coming from. For those of you that are new, never forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. See you in the next video. Jai Hind.